A good reader is a good speaker. Let's enhance reading skills in children through story reading. Thanks for your like. Subscribe to stay connected. It was a hot day in the rainforest. Wiley, the tortoise, woke up grumbling. I have to do something, he said. Everyone seems to be getting smarter. I used to be the smartest around. It's time for me to gather up all the wisdom of the world. And keep it to myself. Then, I'll be the wisest of them all. Wiley looked around. He said. I wonder what will be big enough to store all of this wisdom. Then, he spotted a large gourd. Lying on the ground. Under a huge kapok tree. This is perfect, he said. Dragging a gourd under a bush. He hollowed out the center of the gourd. Making plenty of room. For all the wisdom of the world. Then, he set out on his quest. He gathered the wisdom, piece by piece, and placed it carefully in the center of the gourd. After a while, the gourd was bulging with wisdom, and Wiley was sure he had collected every last bit. Now, where can I hide this gourd? Filled with wisdom, he wondered. Ah, he said, looking up. I'll climb the kapok tree and hide it in the branches. No one will ever find it there. Tying a vine around the gourd, Wiley pulled on it. and started to climb the tree. He slung the heavy gourd to one side and then to the other, but found it nearly impossible to carry it up the tree. Huffing and puffing, he stopped to think. "Don't be a fool," a man's voice said from below him. He turned and saw a hunter who was laughing at him. "A fool?" Wiley said. "I'm not a fool. I'm the wisest creature in the world." "Well, in that case," the hunter said, "you already know that the best way to get that heavy gourd up the tree is to hang it over your back." "Of course, I know that," said Wiley, concerned that the hunter had more wisdom than he had. "Perhaps I dropped some wisdom out of the gourd as I was climbing," he thought. How dare the hunter help himself to some of my wisdom? Angrily, he tried to yank the vine around his neck so he could escape up the tree and away from the hunter. But he was careless and tried to do it in a hurry. All of a sudden, the vine broke. The not-so-wise tortoise watched as the gourd fell from the tree and smashed on the ground, spilling its bits of wisdom everywhere. Ever since that day, no one has been able to gather all the wisdom of the world. Not even Wiley. But lots of people picked up pieces. And every time they do, the wisdom of the world spreads out from one end of the earth to the other. And whenever Wiley's feeling a bit curious, he crawls back over to the kapok tree and tries to find a bit of wisdom hiding in the grass. One day, while searching for the best piece of wisdom, he found the best piece of wisdom. Wiley learned the best lesson of his life. It was wisdom is greatest when it is shared.